Well, affordability is a really hot topic in neighborhoods in Toronto, rather, and virtually throughout Greater Vancouver. I got Ozzie Jurock here. I'm going to start with a hot property. Do you have anything affordable for us?
Well, we got a great rancher townhome in Surrey. 3-bedroom, 2 full baths, new kitchen, renovated, close to school, and that's only 189.9.
Wow. I'm a bit surprised by that, to be honest. There you go. Of course, anything we talk about here, you got to check out yourself. But boy, I can see why that got up on your list, Ozzie. Let's go into a couple things, though. This is it's become politicized, the whole deal about the affordability and foreign ownership, and we should tax this, tax that. We've seen the Bank of Nova Scotia's worried, but we've got, at the same side, sorry, I should have said, we're seeing others, like the Bank of Nova Scotia, people are worried about the real estate market headed down, and so is the central bank.
Yeah, there's no question. We're having a convention this morning at the Marriott, and I'm going to talk about the fact that I believe that we really have sort of a decoupling of the world, where we had a runaway inflation almost in hard assets, from painting to artwork to real estate. At the same time, we got a deflation, and maybe the time has come that while I think long-term real estate is going to be fine in Vancouver, that short-term some of us should be selling.
Yeah, well, that is, but it is interesting, eh? Typical, the public, the politicians are getting involved with it just a little too late. I keep saying, if you really want a decline in real estate, you better be careful what you wish for. But let me just talk about who should be selling. Obviously you've been in this market, but is there any groups that should be looking to sell? And of course I'm not asking for a crystal ball, but, at some point here.
Well, we argue in our newsletter that, for instance, if I was a landlord of a small 4-story building, I'm getting outlandish offers on a per-suite basis, which is really based on the land value. And so we recommend that maybe now is the time. If I had an old 4-story or 5-story building, then maybe I should look at selling, because we've got a combination of cheap money, foreign buyers, aggressive land speculation, multiple offers, and the prices have gone into the stratosphere in the hope that the land will be revalued. Maybe it won't. So maybe take a look at that.
Other side is that you got to get nervous anytime government gets involved. What a joke it is to have people say government should do something when we have to appreciate that record low interest rates are one of the reasons that at the lower to mid end of the market that prices have gone crazy. They're asking the very people who contributed to it. And then you look at all the fees and taxes that are attached to a new building, whether it's in the city of Vancouver and you build a condo and you figure out that 15% of the price was government added on by provincial and municipal and provincial. It's kind of crazy. We're asking the wrong people, but I'm also worried about more government regulation here.
Exactly, and in fact, I blame Polos entirely for the increase in the housing value. He had a press conference a couple of days ago. There was no mention of him. None of the reporters asked him, well, what about interstate? Don't you think that was the catalyst to drive the dollar down and therefore become cheaper all along? Yeah, but that's another reason why if I was a landlord, I would take a look. We have more BC government regulation coming, already announced, including tighter rent controls, an increase in purpose-built rental housing. We have competition from Airbnb and other short-term rental groups. Secondary suites are coming. Hey, and if we have a potential cooling of offshore money, it might be detrimental to your real estate health. Right? Look at Boardwalk Equities and Beach Properties and other large landlords. They cashed out of Vancouver because they got great prices.
What about the individual homeowner? Obviously, their own circumstances should dictate a lot of this. I know a lot of people in the retirement stage, with interest rates this low again, it's actually driving them out of their house. They're going to sell their house, downsize, usually in another municipality where it's cheaper. Maybe they go farther out into the valley or they go over to Vancouver Island or what have you. And but they need that $1 million or $2 million gain to live off of because interest rates are so low. So, are you talking to people about at least taking a hard look at what's going on that way?
100%, Mike. You're so right. I think first of all, if I want to live in Vancouver, there's no reason for you to sell. But if I'm close to retirement age and I have $1 or $2 million of profit, but that's tax-free money. How long am I going to live? What can I do? That's why the Sunshine Coast is burning higher, or the Fraser Valley is burning higher. Look at the timing that we have. We have Brexit ahead and interest rates you talked about. We have Spanish elections, Chinese credit bubble. Right now you have a paper profit, right? So if I was at closer to my retirement, I would say, hey, maybe I should take some of those chips off the table.
Yeah. Well, I think it's absolutely. We're getting a one-sided discussion now that higher prices are bad. Well, not for some people, not if you're an owner, not if you're a retiree. We need a much broader discussion of what's going on. Hey, one more hot property for me.
We got one on Horse Lake. We have a great frontage on the lake, 4 acres, a 2,600 square foot home. It's on at 329,000. And if you just want to really get out of the world, 50 minutes from 100 Mile House, a cabin on 10 acres, 135,000.
Hey, are you testing us? Where the heck is Horsefly Lake?
It's just out about 50 minutes from 100 Mile House. It's actually not that far, and it's a beautiful lake.
Good stuff, Ozzie, as usual. Thanks for taking the time.
It's from Williams Lake, not 100 Mile, but from Williams Lake, 50 minutes.
Oh, yeah, Horsefly Lake is 50 minutes from Williams Lake. There you go.
Right,
okay.
Right. Okay.
Troublemaker. Okay, Ozzie, have a great weekend.